So as you can see here, I have started refining the lithium into tritium, radioactive tritium. And while that's going on, I might as well show you something I've been working on off screen. There's a bunch of stuff I've been working on off screen, but well, that's penny ante. But this, here it is. This is the ultimate induction cell. 340 units of steel, 340 units of glass, 127 units of osmium, 1,702 ingots of gold, 2,596 units of redstone, 1,212 units of infused alloy, 170 ingots of iron, 256 units of lithium, 20 units of reinforced alloy, 2 diamonds, and 4 units of ultimate alloy. And that's not counting the stuff used to make the alloys. Yeah, all that stuff makes me, gives me the capacity for an even trillion, or at least a trillion, units worth of power. I have no idea just how much of that I'm going to get when I trip the fusion generator. Now, I was going to close out the power tab, but in this new update, they have changed the recipe for the basic capacitor. Now I got to make plates out of it, and that required me getting into thermal series. So I did some stuff there. This was a quest reward. These 2 machines I already had. This I already dug out. This I made to start it. This I already had, because all it took was redstone. I got some rewards there, and now I'm about to make the multi-servo press, which I need to make the plates for the power stuff. So, yeah, they've blended mods here with other mods, and doing that can have, I suppose, mixed results, because you sometimes does help to make things more challenging, but at the same time, there is a limit to how much people are willing to take as far as challenges go. Might as well run my nickel through the. I'm gonna end up with some left over. I know, but I guess I'll have to take that as it comes. Okay, how do I? So I did not know that you can't use raw nickel from Thermo series in Mekanism. I don't know whether that was never there to start with, or whether they just took that out. But I'm going to use the pulverizer here. With the pulverizer, there's a chance of my getting a secondary output like copper dust. Can I use regular raw iron still? Yes, I can. I got that as a reward. So I'm just going to... Well, I might as well use it all evenly. The purification chamber has like a 2-to-1 ratio. Now, why do I need the nickel? Well, I need it to make Constantan. I don't know how you say that. Constantan gears. You can stamp gears out using the press, and that'll save you this iron nugget you have to put into the center. Oh, and I'm wondering if you need to... Okay, induction smelters can actually smelt stuff. Did not know that. But what I was really trying to find out was... Can I mix an ingot with... Oh, yes, I can. That's going to help. Okay, so 2 more of these, and 2 more of these. And that's enough for the 2 Constantan gears I need for the multi-servo press. Now, bronze, as we all know, is 3 coppers, 1 tin. Let's get that going. Voila. Done. One multi-servo press. I'll put that right there. So now that I've done the multi-servo press, I'm going to, well, I get a gear working die out of it. That's going to help, because I need, oh my. Yeah, sometimes you can complete quests by getting rewards from quests. I must have mentioned that before. But the quest rewards you get off of this thermal series stuff seem to include a lot of grenades. They're going to be helpful in a dungeon raid, I suppose. But how helpful remains to be seen. You'll excuse my lack of faith, but it's kind of a rare commodity to have these days. Anyway, so back to why I... Oh, right, I gotta... These things really fill up my inventory, don't they? I gotta put all this stuff away before I go out for another dungeon raid. Which I do plan on doing. So, now that I have a multi-servo press, I'm going to have to make the plates for the big capacitors. The basic capacitors. Those used to be large capacitors, come to think of it. I still have a tiny and a regular basic capacitor, but they have both been disabled. So, to make the capacitors, I need Invar and Signalium. We'll get to Signalium later. Invar is simple. It is a blend of nickel and iron. Let me put this gear working die somewhere. Yeah. Oh, in the fluid cell. I think you can use fluid cells to store experience in, because experience is sometimes rendered as a fluid. Let's see. So how many basic capacitors am I going to need? 1, 2 for the energy discharger, and 2 more for the hopper. So that's 8 units of Invar. Invar, however, is made in 3s. So there's bound to be some left over. There's the blend. I might as well put it in the induction smelter. You can actually smelt stuff in an induction smelter. So it has the same functionality as a redstone furnace. And then once I've got all the Invar I need, I will stuff it in the... I didn't know that was a task. Okay. I will stuff it in the multi-servo press. I'll have to put this Invar away, and then we can go over the formula for Signalium, because Signalium is, well, it's a very unique direction for a mod how to take. Now, how do you conventionally make metals? Well, you dig them from ore, right? Who would have thought that you could make something by mixing copper, silver, and redstone? I mean, redstone? What the? Okay, where did that guy come from? I have no idea, but as long as this wither skeleton is here, I might as well see if I can get his head with the looting sword. Oh, brother. Well, that certainly was a help. But it did alert me to the problem that that I'm not exactly safe in my own base here. If wither skeletons can pop out of nowhere, but this must have come from the nether portal? It's possible. The other end of it is in a fort. Anyway. Oh, right. Multi-servo press. My suddenly full inventory needs reorganizing here. So Signalium, as I said, is redstone, copper, and silver. I should have all 3 of those. Yeah, I've got raw silver here. I can use the raw silver in not Mekanism, but I'll have to put it through the pulverizer. So that'll be here. And then I'm wondering if I can make a signalium ingot in, yeah, the induction smelter. So I've already got all the ingredients. I might as well keep these dusts. I suppose it's it takes a step out of the process. Storing honeycombs in there, yeah. Okay, and wait, did I mean to do that? I think I put something in here that I didn't mean to put in here, but I don't know. If I miss it later, oh, my sticks. Yeah, I'm certainly gonna miss those, won't I? So, anyway, 3 copper, 1 silver, 4 redstone. And that's how you make signalium. And I'm going to need 2 plates of it. There we are. And now the 4 capacitors. Wait, that was a quest? Oh. Yeah, I guess it did. I guess it was, and I guess I never really completed it. Because there weren't any quests for large capacitors in the original. So anyway, I suppose it's back to making dielectric casings. Only got 2 more of those to make. And that's another quest? Huh. Yeah, also thankless. But sometimes if a quest is really basic, it makes sense for it to not have a reward. Anyway, the crafting recipe for a hopper. I think there is one that uses wood instead of chests. Yeah, there we go. And that really is a good step in the right direction. Because to have to make a chest, I suppose it makes sense for the hopper, but... And there we have it, at last. Closure. I mean, completing those challenges that they had originally was a... Well, it was going to be a really grindy task. Can you imagine making 64, count them, 64 nitro capacitors? Yeah, I can imagine it too, but it's giving you a bit of a headache. I'm glad I've got regular ice, by the way. There's some... because other than getting it as a request reward, ice is not an easy thing to get. You have to make... you have to use like Silk Touch on ice, and you have to find a biome for ice with ice in it. And I have yet to actually run into one of those. Well, I suppose technically the Twilight Forest does count, because there's a rather cold place in there. But anyway, so that's it for power. Now, as for Mekanism, nothing has changed with regards to the quests. Let me just see if I can sneak out here and check. Ah! Finished! Good. Let's get out of here before the zombies get us. Alright, so I have deuterium, I have tritium, I have a horum. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And somewhere around here I have a gauge dropper with a little bit of leftover deuterium in it. Here it is, yeah. So what I'm going to do is this. Now, to jumpstart the fusion reactor, I'm going to need to clear out these advanced chemical things, but no, I'm going to need combined deuterium-tritium fuel. I've got the deuterium for it. I've got the tritium for it. But the tritium is in this advanced chemical tank right here. So what I'm going to do is this. Take the deuterium, put it in there. Yeah, it's kind of an uneven amount, but using the pump was kind of an uneven practice. Then I'm going to take the... yeah, I didn't fill up the whole thing, but I'm trying to make this as even as I can. Then I'm going to take what's left over, put it in here. You know what just occurred to me? Let me just grab one of those empty advanced chemical tanks here. And put the combined DT fuel in it. Because this whole realm doesn't need that much fuel. Now, there's another thing I did off screen. It's raining and it's night, so it's dangerous, but I'm going to try doing this anyway. There we are. So yeah, I made myself a nice little enclosure for this fusion reactor. So around here... Oh, it's one thing I suppose I ought to do is make another staircase going down. Because the pipes are kind of blocking things. So I'm going to put the deuterium fuel here. And... Really? I was not expecting it to use that whole thing. I suppose this is going to be a bit of a short reaction. Let me check what the fuel level doesn't say. Maybe it's in the pipes, actually. Come to think that could be it. These ultimate pipes, I forget offhand exactly how much they take. But okay, if that's how these things that's how these things work, there's not a whole lot I can say on the matter. And then the chemical tank with the DT fuel. I suppose I can store it in... How about here? Right on top of the unit. I'll add 10 DT fuel. And put the whole ROM in here. The injection rate is 2. We have 1,000 a piece. I guess the rest of it really is in the pipes then. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us all cross our fingers. Now, when I hit this button, the fusion reactor should start up, and it will make heat. It'll produce steam, and the steam will come out, will be routed into this turbine. The water coming in is on the other side. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, here it is. So the water comes in, the steam comes out, the DT fuel is injected, and I get power. I'm not sure how much power, but power enough. So anyway, 3, 2, 1, contact. And there it is. Hold on a second. This thing doesn't have a power output. Well, wait a minute. Is the steam actually... It's supposed to be making steam right now. I'll have to stop it. Hang on a minute. Well, at least I got the power, and I got the reaction running. But how come I couldn't get any steam out of it? Let me see. If this thing can be set to input, output. Okay, so it's just an input and an output. And it's set to output. But if it is set to output, why isn't it outputting anything? Well, wasn't this a disappointment that our thing ran, but nothing came out of it? Well, I shouldn't say nothing. It did produce, and is still producing, power. Maybe that's what's happening. Do I have to build like a whole other output for it? So this Ars Nouveau stuff, I don't know whether to call them challenging or annoying. So yeah, this thing should be working. But then... why isn't it? Well, I have a theory. I might need to add like a port to it. So I can if this thing is configured to if this thing outputs power instead of outputting steam, then if I put if I were to put this energy cell here, yeah, see, it's taking the power. So maybe it does need another another output for the power as opposed to for the steam, but it should technically be able to tell the difference, shouldn't it? Because it only ever has inputs and outputs. There's nothing... Here's another problem I'm going to have to resolve off screen, I suppose.